the harbor bad. Like a little boy who wants to go on the potty. I can press the button for you.
Okay.
Very well. You may enter the door once. Our race conversation here has concluded.
Finally. Let's go.
Okay. Das hätte ich jetzt nicht gedacht. Okay.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Ich versuch's.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it.
Okay, Zettel.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor. All items on the list have been crossed out. The drawer slides shut.
Bin mal gespannt. Hat sich das gelohnt? Wo? Die ziehe ich gleich mal an. Och, wie geil. Oh ne, das bringt nichts. Ach ja, egal. Gut. Ja, ich bräuchte noch was für die Gesundheit, aber naja.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, the magazine is divided into several sections. International developments. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is you skim the headline. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Genau.
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation. Judging from the context, it's you
Was
flip
ist
back
da?
to the front of the magazine. Comrade, but like the only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
Was ist denn los? Wieso?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also... Whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that. It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative.
Was?
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, based on the Sapormat
Was macht der da?
Gelazinski, it's quite according to the
Was?
SRVs.
Das
This
ist mir zu
is
viel.
the SR. That's very much.
The Samaran People's Republic? They're quite on account of the blood.
You flip back to the front of them. It takes a moment. Why? As you leaf through the main feature, though, the
nichts, oder?
tip-top tournée is an inter-ISO. This so-called artist spotlight. You think you're set instead. Where to
Das
even
ist mir
start?
zu viel.
So, all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. There's no way. Have you ever met anyone under capital? Thus, and that precisely is what, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750. You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that tip-top tour.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. You can still like it. If I had to wait...
You flip back to the.
Ernsthaft. Da sind wir durch.
An intricate web. It still kind of looks like a map of for you to someone who knows about history. Gone.
Ja, komm, wir gehen raus. Ah, da ist noch was.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952.
Was ist
And
das für
a
eine Nummer?
moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Still calling.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. No. Sir, I don't know. It's a maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
The call is terminated.
Hä?
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The heir, it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we
Ich
could
mach
trust
einfach
you.
mit.
Remember,
Okay, ich habe einen Gedanken gewonnen. Das habe ich nicht verstanden, aber egal. Kann ich
the
nochmal?
payphone hangs mutely on the wall.
Gut. Weiter geht's. Hallo? Oh, ich muss dann dahin. Gut, okay. Ne, ich glaube, wir gehen erstmal nochmal da hoch. Mhm.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean, and it's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man...
Why did you take that picture of René? Fine. But let's move. I don't want to be...
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. You stand and exit the booth. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the...
Okay. Ne, da ist nichts. Wild Pines. Ja, das ist ja richtig. Was mache ich hier? Ich weiß es gerade nicht. Stopp. Stopp.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off.
Nee. Nee. Nee, da machen wir besser nix. Das da. So. Was? War das jetzt eine Sackgasse oder was? Nee, hierhin. Ah, dahin. Gut. Mhm. Ja, Kaffee. Mhm. Und da ist er.
Before you is a walrus of a man, seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you, with a mixture of expectation and impatience.
Kommen wir direkt zum Punkt. In einem Baum hängt eine Leiche.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Er weiß, wie ich heiße. Harry Dubois.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Ja.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Mhm.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Oh Gott, ist der unangenehm.
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Warte mal. Ich kann... Schnell speichern geht jetzt nicht. Gut, okay. Was steht da?
Don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Was?
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. Lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's
ist
going
der
to be
widerlich.
all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a...
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Ich schaff's nicht.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Maybe you could use your hands
Ist der so furchtbar?
in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Ist das widerlich?
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my! Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.